Alright, man, we back on man channel. Like, share, subscribe if you got the time. If you don't, I don't give a damn because the channel's like monetized yet, but it will be eventually, right? So check it out. We'll talk about Gillie the Kid versus Rick Ross, right? So they had an episode of $1 million worth of game, and they had Southside on there. There's 808 Mafia. If you don't know who Southside is, you probably don't listen to hip hop. And you know, if you listen to hip hop, then you know. And if you don't, then you probably don't. But whatever. Anyway, so check it out. They had an interview, right? So Gillie on there talking, and then he just going to some tirade about, yeah, and the old niggas, they don't have it. First off, Gillie, you not no spring chicken, bro. And if you not 40, you look 40. So what are you going with this talking about old niggas, bro? Like, and people consider 40 old. And the dudes you was talking about is 48. So I'm like, he talking about, yeah, 40, 50. And he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is you talking about, bro? I think you got caught up in the moment because you was talking to a young nigga. So you felt like a young nigga. And that energy kind of rubbed off on you. You started to talk like you was a young nigga. But you not no young nigga, bro. You not no spring chicken. But anyway, so Gillie on there talking about, you know, and then next thing you know, you on the channel talking about, oh, I got a cow. I got a cow. What you got a cow for? And I'm like, bruh, do you know what type of land you gotta have to keep a cow? I live by some cows. That shit millions, my nigga. Like, what is you talking about? And then you hating on Ross. Like, because Ross called you a fraud, bruh. With the energy and the tone that you was talking, like, you have, and you from Philly where they throw hands, bro. You should have approached him physically. Like, walked up to him, caught him out somewhere, went to a show. You got the network to sit up there and talk to him to figure out how to get to him. And you could have approached him like a man and said, hey, bro, what's up with you calling me a fraud on the gram? And he could have either copped a plea, which you could have felt the spirit and be like, oh, yeah, he ain't really on that like that. So, yeah, let's just do an episode and make something out of it. Or you could have been like, he could have been like, well, this is what I meant by it. And then y'all could have discussed it on the podcast, which would have still been a way more player way of going about doing it. It'd have been fly. Y'all could have been at the promised land eating chicken. You know you like chicken. You know you like Wingstop. Who don't like Wingstop? And then you could have sat there and looked at the cow and asked him, Ross, what you doing with a cow? And that could have been a whole little funny segment or whatever, but there was no $1 million worth of game conveyed and you going off on $1 million worth of game like a lame. It just really didn't work out for me. Like, I just didn't see where you was going with that. And you a clever MC, so it just really didn't work for me. Like, I'm like, what is he doing? Where is he going? That's why I got Wallow face up here, because Wallow just was, like, puzzled. Like, and then you try to circle back around to he was a correctional officer. Bro, he admitted to that. He's already rich. It's over with. Who cares? We not in the era of authenticity. Do you see what 6ix9ine did? Come on, man. And you bringing this up. You just sound like a hater, bro. And it's like, I'm mad. I'm actually pissed off because I'm one of the few people that was sticking up for you in hip-hop conversations. When they was talking about Lil Wayne, I'm like, yeah, but Lil Wayne had, like, you know how people do Drake with Quentin Miller. I'm like, yeah, but Lil Wayne can't be the greatest of all time because he had Gillie the Kid. And then I know Mickey in Chicago, that MC, he did the Carter 2. So, yeah, that's really who, like, influenced his style, blah, 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 his bars, blah, blah. Look, I was sticking up for you, bro, and I really liked your music, bro. So it's like, I viewed you as a clever guy. Like, you have a podcast called $1 million worth of game with your cousin. Think about that within itself. You had enough game to have a podcast that's successful with your cousin who got out of jail for doing 20 years, bro. I got a cousin coming home from doing 9 in like 2023. So, like, think about that. Like, if we could parlay that conversation into a podcast, that's some game right there, because I got game off of watching you. So how you think the youth is going to look at you when you handling this situation with Ross, bro? There was no game conveyed in this, bro, at all. The game would have been seeing him in person, addressing him like a man since he called you a fraud, something that you find offensive enough to respond back to. You could approach him like a man, felt the energy, whether it was like combative on some like, yeah, let's get to it, or it was on some let's have a conversation, and then parlay that into an episode, and next thing you know, you got a successful episode, another one, and you handled it like, you know what I'm saying, the way you wanted to handle it, bro. But you handled it like this just wasn't cool, man. This wasn't cool. But we all have our off days, you know what I'm saying? I figured like this situation gonna get squashed, but yeah, it just wasn't no $1 million worth of game being conveyed here at all, man. I don't know where you was going with this. I think Ross had some comedy, he had some funny jokes or whatever, but like, you know, yeah, I don't know where you were going with this, bro. I really don't know, you know what I'm saying? You need to apologize for this for real, bro. Like, it's looking bad, man, you know. But anyway, we back on Iron Man channel. Like, share, subscribe if you got the time. If you don't, I don't give a damn because the channel's still ain't monetized yet. Peace.